It's time for To the Max Sports, where we talk about sports. They're just two guys, Max and Drew, in a bar talking all things sports. Well, without the bar. And the beer. Wait, why aren't we in the bar?
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Flying Whippet Production Studios. I am Drew. I am here along with Bob this evening, running solo tonight, Bob.
Yep, with a face for radio. That's the reason why I'm not on it.
Well, so do I, actually.
No worries.
We'll get through it. So,
wow,
man.
What a weekend of basketball.
Wasn't it, though? So what happened to your pukies?
I don't know. I mean, North Carolina's got a really, really good ball club, which you wouldn't have said a couple months ago when they had a horrible December and January, and Hubert Davis he righted that ship and he just stayed with them. That's a good man and a good coach.
I'll tell you what, to take over a major program in your first year, take your team to the championship game, kudos to him.
Well, Roy Williams sitting in the stands watching that going, well, I could have done this.
Right? I'll tell you what, North Carolina's future is bright.
Well, what really impressed me was, did you watch the post-game press conference with Hubert Davis, UNC coach?
Watched a little bit of it.
That man is amazing.
Yeah.
That man is amazing. This is not a disappointment. I am proud of all these men. Just class act. He's going to be great for college basketball going forward.
Yeah, he's going to be great. And like I said, I think their future looks bright. And then it's the kind of the passing of the baton. Have they announced who's going to replace Krzyzewski yet? I don't even know what's happening.
I did not know that. I don't follow Duke as much as Christian Laettner does, but
I'll tell you what, though, he had a great career. What a way to go out. He almost pulled it off. North Carolina was just too tough in the end.
Yeah,
as I predicted.
Yeah, John Shire.
Okay. Well, if he has any kind of the success that North Carolina had, with their first year coach.
Yeah, I mean they're saying they have talent coming back, and he's a whiz on the recruiting side, so we should expect Duke to be there. The ACC was not bad.
It's interesting. I saw already the pundits are saying that Arkansas is going to be the team next year to beat. But
yeah, crazy. Oh, and so St. Peter, we talked about them last week.
Right.
Not only is their coach moving on to Seton Hall, 3 players in the transfer portal.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't see them for a while, that team.
I don't know if we're going to see those 3 players again.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think that point guard was that good, but apparently they love him up there.
Yeah, well, it's a Jesuit school. They love everybody.
So then we had the championship game, and I took Kansas. I lost my little stupid first half bet because I thought that I actually thought at the time that North Carolina had that was their championship win.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Duke. And, a couple of those guys were battling some injuries. They really played their hearts out. So I'm saying, Kansas is fresh. They're going to come out there, punch them in the mouth the first half, and we'll see what happens. Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I think the score is 7-0, then 9-2, and I'm like...
And then you were down 15-0 at halftime.
And then I'm down what? How much it was?
15 points. It was a 15-point deficit at halftime.
But, in true North Carolina fashion, which they did it against Baylor, a lot of people thought they should have lost that game when Baylor came roaring back and almost beat them in overtime. But North Carolina, they showed that they were winded. The adrenaline
They went cold from the floor. They went cold.
The adrenaline ran out, and Kansas came back, and Kansas looked tough.
Yeah, but usually what happens, though, is the team storms back, gets close, other team puts a little bit on, and it just takes the wind out of the sails. But Kansas just motored right through.
They did. So, again, their future looks bright. I think that's their coach's self, right?
His second.
It's his second. So, at the end of the day, we have the blue bloods that seem to always...
Very rarefied territory. Jay Wright from Villanova, who we beat in the semis, has 2. And the other coach, current active, Rick Pitino at Iona.
I don't think Ricky's going to get one anytime soon.
Probably not at Iona, no.
think he's trying to rebuild his image.
But yeah, no, it was, I thought, some may say that, North Carolina gagged and choked, but, Bill Self and that team at halftime, hats off to them for not packing it in and not letting it go and just saying, we're still in this. We're going to come back. We're going to make a few adjustments and we're going to take this back. And they did.
Yeah. 20 minutes is a long time in college basketball, one shot at a time. They tightened up a little bit on the defense, and lo and behold, they got a national championship.
Certainly a lot closer game than on the women's side, which was a blowout from the beginning almost.
Yeah.
Which quite frankly, I only watch in the highlights because I personally don't watch women's basketball.
I did see a little bit of it, but yeah, it was pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of events, we got the Masters tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
I tried to get Jeff to call in, but he's on a plane. He actually was up at Augusta, so I guess he's up there was watching some practice rounds.
Well, and why didn't he stay out there?
I don't know.
And is he bringing back swag?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Damn, Jeff, if you're watching or listening to this later, if you don't bring back swag, you can still come on the show because we love you, man, but we're going to be disappointed.
He's probably in some VIP tent, drinking Chablis, hobnobbing with the governor and all the elites up there. But
yeah, they're open, no restrictions. They're record crowds, record prices to watch this stuff.
It's good.
And one reason, and it's 2 words, and it rhymes with goods.
Tiger Woods. So we had predicted that he wouldn't make this his grand return. I still think it's a mistake. I think he had some good practice rounds. His ego may have gotten the better of him. Probably people are chirping in his ear, you can do this. But it's going to be tough.
My prediction is still not wrong because I predicted he'd pull out tonight or maybe even tomorrow morning.
We did say game time decision, so you never know with him.
Well, the Masters, by rights, the one player that has lifted all other boats in the PGA, they really did him a solid. He's playing early tomorrow and late on Friday. A lot of rest for those legs. But you're right. This isn't other than he has course knowledge. He knows every nook and cranny of that course. He knows where not to put the ball, which is as important, maybe even more important at Augusta than where to put the ball. It's the legs. That's an undulating course. It's up and down. Can he survive 72 holes?
Yeah. Not to mention the mental aspect, because having played golf myself, the mental game can almost be as tough as the physical game. And he hasn't been out there, really challenged mentally. I'm sure Tiger's going to be prepared. But, as long as the physical challenge is there, there's also that mental challenge.
Well, the one thing hopeful for Tiger fans out there, he won the U.S. Open on a broken leg.
That's true. But when was that? That was...
Well, he was a little bit younger.
A little bit younger. I will say this, as you get older, these aging athletes, the mind is always saying, I can still do it. It's the body that starts breaking down. And, most of his, not only was it, the last one's basically been self-inflicted, unfortunately.
So greater likelihood, Tiger Woods wins the Masters or Brady wins another Super Bowl.
Oh,
talking about old pros.
That's a no-brainer.
You're going to pick Brady?
Yeah.
I don't want Brady to win anything ever again, so I'm going to put Tiger on that one.
Yeah, Tiger, do you even think he makes the cut?
If he plays, he makes the cut.
Okay. Do you think he's in the conversation Sunday afternoon?
Realistically, probably not. But if you're an executive at ESPN with that broadcast and those ratings, you are wanting him to be in contention.
Yeah, they're in their prayer closet right now saying, please, please, Tiger.
I was watching ESPN today, and they're doing coverage of his practice round.
Well, it's all about ratings, and by having him there and playing, it's just, there's going to be an interest there from your casual golf fan to actually your non-casual golf fan, just people that are interested in the Tiger Woods story. It would be a hell of a story.
It would be a great story.
And Jeff's a huge Tiger Woods fan, so can you imagine though if he's in that top round there, that 3 or 4 group going into Sunday?
The world is going to stop. Laker fans are not going to be worried about not making the playoffs. There's going to be a ceasefire in the Ukraine because Putin's going to watch it as well. The world is going to stop if Woods is in contention on Sunday.
Well, let me tell you, I don't think Woods will be, which means he probably will win it.
Good, please.
But I have put together a list of some dark horses, some players that you may hear in the conversation during Masters weekend, some that may actually win it, some that maybe will make that magical run.
Okay, who do you want to start with?
All right, let me start with my list. Hope there's some golf fans out there tonight.
They're more rabid than hockey fans. We're going to talk hockey next week, so you can all tune out next week.
There's a kid named Laird Shepherd.
Laird Shepherd.
All right, this young chap who hails from across the pond.
Yes, born in Brighton, England. Tiger won his first Masters before this gentleman was born.
You know, he's kind of a feel-good story. He won the British Amateur.
Yep.
Which gave him the rights to play in this.
Mm-hmm.
Good golfer. He's battled a lot of injuries. Actually said he had to fight through thoughts of suicide at one point in his life just because depression kicked in, a lot of injuries. But this would be a feel-good story.
Well.
And the young chap's not a bad player. Does he look like a kind of a poor man's Prince Harry a little bit?
A little bit. I mean,
it looks like Harry if he went on a diet.
With that ginger beard, I actually, when I saw a picture of him, I was like, he's Scottish. And with the first name like Laird, I was for sure he was Scottish, but born in Brighton, England.
Yeah, those ears too. They scream UK all the way.
Yeah, well,
can't see his teeth. So.
Yeah, you can't see his teeth.
But anyway, look out for this kid, Kevin Kisner. Let's pull him up.
Kevin Kisner,
a Bulldog, Georgia Bulldog. He looks like I just can't believe that putt went in. Have you ever noticed these golfers, man? These aren't your daddy's golfers anymore. These aren't your big fat, the walrus, Craig Stadler,
John Daly.
John Daly. Look, I mean, these guys are lean, they're mean, they're tall.
Well, I mean,
they're everything I'm not.
I mean, that's the only way you're able to generate all that torque to have muscles and good muscle development. Otherwise, you're not hitting the ball 350.
Yep, that's true. Pull that young chap back up again. So he's got 4 PGA Tour wins. He's 27th in the world. And he's one of my dark horses. If I'm doing the fantasy golf, and has an outside chance to win this thing with his short game, the way he plays. These are all guys whose games favor the Masters, in my opinion. So keep an eye on Kevin Kisner.
Okay.
Abraham Answer. I'm not so much if he's going to be around, but this guy's got a really cool story. He was born in Mexico.
Okay.
Lived in Mexico, never has had a swing coach or a golf coach in his entire life. He actually lives in San Antonio, Texas now, and I think Jeff has played a few rounds with him.
Really?
So he's known to kind of frequent the San Antonio courses and play with some of the high rollers here in town.
God never came down and asked him to kill him a son?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I don't know, but I got the biblical reference.
Yeah, there we go.
Not everyone might. He won the FedEx St. Jude tournament. So this would be a feel-good story. Don't know if he'll be in that top group, but I'll tell you what, his game is really, really solid. I've seen him play. Kind of a fan favorite here.
Cool.
Especially in the San Antonio area.
Cool.
Pull up Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas.
Of all of them, I would say this is the guy that could win this thing. There's only one conundrum to the story here.
Well, you and Andy North are in agreement because Andy's picking Justin Thomas.
Okay. And I mean, he screams Masters winner. He's got 14 PGA Tour wins. He was the 2017 PGA champion in that event, but he plays like dog shit when it comes to majors, to include the Masters.
So he's a little bit like Clayton Kershaw in baseball?
Yeah, I kind of like Clayton Kershaw in baseball, kind of like Kirk Cousins in football.
Kirk Cousins in football, Aaron Rodgers in football.
Yeah, he'll put up some amazing stats. Everything screams that this guy, this should be the breakout tournament. We'll see. I like him. Hopefully he'll play well in this major. And my last guy that I wanted to talk about was a young chap named Connor.
Corey Connors from up north, the Great White North, Canadian Corey Connors.
Okay, this guy could win it. He could be there too. He's ranked 32nd. He's got 2 top 10 finishes in the Masters.
He looks like a really nice guy. He looks like a guy that you could walk up to on the street and ask him for some money and he'd give it to you.
He looks like the kind of guy that I'm like, you know what, I need a co-host next week because I'm not going to be here. And he would say, you know what, I'll fill in for you. Well, looks like that kind of guy.
Corey Connors, if you're listening to the show and not preparing for the Masters, first of all, you're an idiot. But if you are, give us a call. We'll have you on next week.
So, open invitation. This kid could have a chance. Like I said, he knows his way around the Augusta. He's had 2 top finishes in Augusta.
Okay.
So, those are my fantasy picks. Some of them you can throw them in there. Having that all said, Brooks Koepka wins the. No, this guy's solid. I like him too.
Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Collins. Everyone's favorite caddy is picking Brooks.
Yeah, I mean he's the real deal. He's already won a couple majors. He could easily, before his career's over with, have 12 to 15 majors under his belt.
I want 20 years knocked off on my life, so I'm going to pick sentimental and go Tiger wins this thing.
You're insane.
Well, the one thing that I love about
at least you didn't say Phil Mickelson wins it.
Oh, did you see the news that we had some conversation last week about it being a conspiracy around Phil not being invited?
Right.
Augusta chairperson came out today or yesterday and said emphatically, Phil is invited. He just said he wasn't coming.
You know, part of me says that's believable.
Oh, I think it's very believable. I think it was more interesting.
Kind of like when Major League Baseball said Major League Basketball said Jordan's going to play baseball for a year.
Well, yeah. I mean, but what was interesting, I didn't realize this. So the Champions Dinner at Augusta, which is the most exclusive meal in all of professional sports, out of all the eligible players who are alive, by the way, you have to win the Masters to get an invite to dinner, only 2 didn't attend. One of them, Angel Cabrera, couldn't. He's in prison.
What's he in prison for? What'd he do?
I would assume it's tax things.
He was a pretty good player.
And Phil Mickelson.
Hey, can you pull up the existing Masters winners that are playing in this? And I'll do a side bet that I'll pick one that'll beat Tiger.
Oh, I just did a quick Google search. I am wrong. It's not taxes. Convicted of violent abuse against a former partner. So domestic abuse.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, pretty bad if you're in prison for it.
Yeah, it must have been not good.
Yeah. So
he seemed pretty even-tempered on the tour, but who knows?
So what did you want?
So what we're going to do here, we hopefully haven't chased everybody off, pull up all the existing Masters winners that are playing, and I'll take the one for a beer. Actually, you guys already owe me a beer and pizza for last week, saying Duke would beat North Carolina. I'm getting hungrier by the minute. But I'll take one.
Well, you don't get here till like a minute before the show. I would have bought you a hot dog.
But I'll take one. That'll beat Tiger.
Okay, so we have last year's winner, Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay.
Before that, Dustin Johnson.
Okay.
As to whether or not these guys are playing, I'm assuming more of these.
I was almost going to take one that's Tiger's age. Actually, I'll take 2. I'll take.
I don't think there's anybody's Tiger age.
Well, there's a couple that are up there.
So Tiger Woods in 19, Patrick Reed in 2018.
Okay.
Sergio Garcia.
No, not taking it.
Danny Willett from England. Jordan Spieth. Bubba Watson. Adam Scott.
Okay, you know, Spieth's been playing terrible, but I'll take Spieth over Tiger.
Charlie Schwartzel? Or
Takes
Charles Schwartzel?
take Spieth.
Okay. Well, Angel Cabrera is not going to beat Tiger this weekend. He's three hots and a cot down there in South America.
He's done did his beating.
And Trevor Immelman, Zach
got some
Johnson.
old schools. I think you got Freddie Couples playing. A couple of the old school guys.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's kind of where I was on the whole Duke thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger being in contention would be great for golf, would be a great story. It's custom made for a great story. And
I think it'd be tremendous.
And it's his best chance. St. Andrews is probably a better course for him physically.
Yeah, I really thought he would wait and
I thought so too.
The pond.
I thought so too. But he's got a better chance here. It's a limited field. You have 90 invitees, and you probably only have 25 to 35 who are actual threats to win this thing.
Yeah.
So it's limited.
You never know.
So
it'll be fun. We'll be talking about it next week, or somebody will. I won't be out of town, but yeah, I will be out of town. I'll be in Houston.
Well, we're going to figure out something next week.
We'll figure out something, guys. Baseball.
We get baseball.
Beloved return.
Tomorrow, opening day.
There's only one team that's destroyed themselves worse than my Reds in the offseason with their sell-off. The Oakland A's.
Oh my God! I heard what their salary is.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as the Reds.
And they have dead money in there. I think their actual player roster salary is like $25 million. Yeah. Max Scherzer makes almost twice that himself.
It's crazy,
and only plays once every 4 days.
Max is now a Met, isn't he?
Yep.
So
Jason DeGrom, Max Scherzer, yeah.
Does Syndergaard still play for them?
No. Syndergaard, where did Syndergaard end up?
If you can get 12 to 15 wins out of Max this year, your Mets, your daddy's Mets, may have a chance.
Possibly. LA Angels.
Okay. So, yeah.
I don't know. The Mets are the quintessential. We're going to spend a lot of money now, and we're just going to collapse. I don't have much faith.
They certainly did last year, but have faith. I like the team they put together. You got Phillies and the Braves. Who knows how the Braves will do? I mean, they're getting Robert Acuna back, and they thought the season was lost when he went down, and lo and behold, they turn around and win a World Series.
Yeah, we'll see. So what do you think about the Major League Baseball is going to allow electronic signaling between catchers and pitchers? So no more signs, no more fingers between the legs. Think it's going to improve play?
And that's going to speed up the game how?
Well, you're not going to be flashing a whole bunch of signs trying to confuse runners. And if you're an Astros fan, your batters are probably going to perform worse now.
Ouch. You're still in that Astros.
I'm still on that cheating thing.
Hey, let me ask you this. How's it going to work?
Apparently the catcher is going to have some type of sending device on their wrist. Kind of. I envision it being something like, quarterbacks have in the NFL, where they're able to, kind of signal type of pitch and location, and the pitcher's going to wear something in their ear that's going to signal them what's going on.
So what are the over odds that gets decoded by the opposing team at some point in the next couple of years, and there's a big scandal for that one?
Oh, if a team hacks into that system for the opposing team, I am just foaming at the mouth at the discipline that will come down, because I can see the argument that the Astros were doing just what everyone's done for decades in baseball, sign stealing. I can almost see the argument on that. But if you're hacking into somebody's radio communications,
it's going to happen.
They're going to try.
Anything that speeds up the game. I've always said, with today's technology, why don't they have a device in the catcher's glove that when the ball hits, it automatically ensures that the ball was in the radius of the home plate?
Oh, we're getting robo ump. I don't think we're going to get robo ump in this season, but we're going to get robo ump very, very soon. I heard a crazy statistic.
What's that?
On 3-2 pitches. Do you know how often called strikes are actual balls, percentage wise?
Not sure.
Greater than 50%.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much human subjectivity to it that if you can eliminate some of that, you can even speed it up by 4 foul balls and you're out. I don't know.
That one I won't go with. I think a robo ump forcing the pitchers to put more into play, especially at the back end of counts. I think maybe that gets rid of this foul ball problem we have in Major League Baseball right now. Possibly.
But how exciting would it be? 4 foul balls and then it's either strike, you're out, or hit it, you're on, or foul ball, you're out.
I'm a little bit of a purist when it comes to baseball.
I know it's tough, but some of those, and it is fun watching the pitcher and batter battle. But some of those foul ball at bats, they can last 4 or 5 minutes.
But I think with a pitch clock, and you bring in robo ump, I think possibly those iconic, historic 5-minute long batter pitcher duels, I think restrict a little bit of the batter's ability to take themselves out of the box. So, they have to stay in there a little bit. I think that will improve it. And I think we'll still have battles because those are, if you're a baseball fan, a real baseball fan, not a casual, I go to the park to watch the dingers and the strikeouts.
Right.
If you're a baseball fan, those battles between pitcher and batter are works of art.
It is. To me, it's the greatest game ever invented. It's the game you can't screw up as much as other games with rules. I do hate the fact that they got DH in the NL now. I used to love the pitcher chess match. Do you keep the pitcher in, let him hit? Do you take him out? So that a lot of the chess match has gone out of baseball. I mean, when's the last time you saw a freaking bunt in baseball?
Well,
move a runner from first to second.
Well, I mean,
second to third.
Moneyball and analytics took it out of the game because analytically, the bunt never pays off. Or pays off so rarely, at least in the regular season. So I think there's a little bit of analytical problem with the bunt and a few other things too. I mean, when I was coming up and playing baseball as a kid and playing baseball in high school, I remember our coach yelling at us, if you swing at the first pitch, you're not playing the next game.
Damn, what an asshole.
Well, who knows where I got that shit from.
I'm just teasing.
But, I mean, I am a purist, but in order to keep the game relevant and be enticing to a younger fan, I'm okay to bend on things. And I'm actually coming around. I wasn't a big fan of robo ump. Hearing that statistic on 3-2 pitches, bring in the robo ump, electronic signaling. Don't do the shift. Let's get the game to be exciting again.
Yeah, they've got to do something to get to, because we're a bunch of old guys and we're dying every day, and they have to do something. Bring in these young kids, and they want action, they want speed, they want that hook, and to have a kid nowadays sit and watch a 3-hour baseball game.
Yeah, the average time for a baseball game in last season was longer than the last Marvel movie.
Yeah. So, and I don't watch those.
Well, you should. We have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse coming in a couple of weeks.
I would still rather watch baseball, 3-hour game, than a 3-hour Marvel movie.
Fair enough.
But that's just me.
So what else do we have going on?
Well, let's just end it with, as much as you hate Brady, I hate the Lakers. And it just throws me to no end that LeBron and his sorry-ass team have exited stage left. Thoughts?
The Lakers not being relevant in the playoffs is bad for basketball in general. Basketball is a is a better proposition to the casual fan
I agree.
if the storied programs are there. And the Lakers are one of the storied
And
programs.
LeBron to the NBA is what Tiger is to the PGA. You know?
For true.
He's going to drag in the casual fan.
For true. Now that being said, for those that don't like the power dynamic in the NBA of player having the upper hand, yeah, this is a cautionary tale, because as much as LeBron doesn't have the GM title on his business card, he constructed this team, and I mean, that's my belief.
I agree. They he pretty much had full control over player personnel decisions, or at least a lot of input into it. And you know, this is what happens when you, like you said, a cautionary tale of giving a superstar a little bit too much leeway. You know?
Oh, by the way, talking about predictions, who predicted that they were going to play as many regular season basketball games as Ben Simmons? And that prediction is coming true. He's probably not even going to play in the play-in game.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Crazy. So no, it's going to be a fun playoff. I think we're gonna. I think the Eastern Conference is really going to look. It's really going to look interesting. And the Nets. We were looking at those futures odds a couple of weeks ago, and wondering why the Nets were still, for Vegas, a better bet. And now we know.
I'm still going to ride with the Sixers this year.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. Well, folks, that wraps up tonight's show. And thank you for listening. Anytime you want to sit in the seat right beside here, if you're in San Antonio, Texas, if you're listening anywhere in the country, reach out to Brother Bob. He'll tell you the ways to reach out to him. You want to do that real quick?
Yeah, just put a comment in one of our videos on the YouTube, and Larry Pernesti. Yeah, hey, Dad's to you too. I don't know what that means.
That's my college roommate.
That's your college roommate?
What's up, Dad? That's my boy.
Yeah,
my boy Larry.
Yeah, a little bit of comment there, but yeah, reach out in the comments on YouTube. And you don't need to be in San Antonio, even though it is a wonderful city, though I freaking hate the tourists here, but please come and spend money in our city, even though I don't like you. But no, you don't need to be here in San Antonio. We'll give you a call. So if you want to be on the show for a little bit and have an interesting take that isn't a conspiracy theory, yeah, we're good for you.
Well, I love tourists, and you want to come into San Antonio, visit our fine city, have the wife and kids go down the Riverwalk while you sit in this chair. Any of y'all can do it. Reach out to Brother Bob. As always, have a great evening. Thanks for watching.
And we are out.
OH.